Weapons online. All systems nominal.
The two sides is closing on each other, and the Gladiator challenged the Deimos, meanwhile the Wolf Elementals challenged the Raven Elementals hanging on the Deimos. And the Gladiator shot at the Deimos, but all was miss. Both sides was keep closing on each other. The Deimos and the Gladiator shot at each other, but both sides was missing. The mechs keep closing on each other, and the Gladiator shot Deimos and hit with two ER large pulse laser. And the Deimos passed the piloting check. Meanwhile, the Deimos was shooting at the Gladiator, but only hitting the ground. The Gladiator was shooting Deimos and hitting with one LB-10X, which using slug ammunition, and one ER large pulse laser, and the piloting check was passed. In return, the Deimos was hitting the Gladiator with 3 UAC-2 and one LRM-15 and one ER medium laser, and the Gladiator also passed the piloting check. The Gladiator was shooting the Deimos and hitting with one LB-10X and two ER large pulse laser, and the right torso was pierced and the mask was destroyed, and the piloting check failed, so the Deimos fall. In return, the Deimos was hitting the Gladiator with 3 UAC-2, 2 LRM-15, and the piloting check was passed for the Gladiator. The Elementals were getting off the mechs, and the Gladiator was shooting the Deimos and hitting with 2 ER large pulse laser, and one of them was a headshot which caused 2 crit, and one was a life support and one was a sensor hit, and the piloting check was passed. In return, the Deimos was hitting the Gladiator with 4 UAC-2. The Elementals are shooting each other, and both Elemental hitting with the SRMs. Meanwhile, the Gladiator was shooting the Deimos and hitting with one LB-10X and 2 ER large pulse laser, and the piloting check was passed, and the Deimos was hitting the Gladiator with 4 UAC-2. The Elementals again hitting each other with the SRMs, while the Gladiator hitting the Deimos with 2 ER large pulse laser, 1 LB-10X and 2 machine gun. The piloting check was passed, and the Deimos hitting the Gladiator with 5 UAC-2, 1 LRM-15, and the piloting check was passed for the Gladiator. The Elementals hitting each other with the lasers. The Gladiator hitting the Deimos with 1 LB-10X and 2 ER large pulse laser, and one hit was an engine hit, and 2 machine gun. Meanwhile, the Deimos hitting with 2 UAC-2, 1 LRM-15 and 2 ER medium laser. The Elementals keep hitting each other with the laser, and the Gladiator hitting the Deimos with 2 ER large pulse laser, 1 LB-10X and 2 machine gun, and the Deimos was destroyed.
Allied unit destroyed.
Meanwhile, the Deimos in return hit the Gladiator with 3 UAC-2, 2 ER medium laser and 1 LRM-15.
Warning.
The Elemental from the Carrion Crow disengaged. It's time to shine for the Carrion Crow and challenge the Gladiator with the Elemental. Both the Gladiator and the Carrion Crow jumped, but the Gladiator didn't expect the extreme jump capability of the Carrion Crow. The first two Elemental keep shooting each other with lasers, and the Gladiator hit the Carrion Crow with 1 ER large pulse laser. Meanwhile, the Carrion Crow hit the Gladiator with 1 medium pulse laser and 1 streak 6, and the Elemental hit the Gladiator with an SRM. the elementals are missing each other. Meanwhile, the Gladiator hit the other elemental team with an LB-10X and killed one elemental. And in return, the elementals also hit the Gladiator with SRM again, which caused an ammo explosion and the Gladiator is destroyed.
Enemy mech destroyed.
And due to this result, the Wolf Empire units decided to withdraw from combat and give the victory to the Raven units.